is very necessary that we thank entire team and team specifically which was involved into this ATS design and ATS development. So you can see the team members who were involved. So thank you Zain, thank you Anjali, and thank you Kumari for letting this happen, right? Once we have done that, and before we dive into ATS, organizational setup, once a product is purchased by any company, the organizational setup becomes very necessary, right? So as soon you have bought this kind of HRMS product, first of all, as an organization, let us consider that Utilitarian Labs has purchased any HRMS from any company, right? It needs to enter its legal detail. It needs to update the policies, holidays, policies, rules, structures, department, everything, right? So once this setup has been done, then we will enter into something called ATS module, right? Now, speaking about ATS module, when we were developing this product and when we started it in design stage, we were going through multiple HRMS. And for that matter, before getting into the Salesforce, we as an organization were already using another HRMS product, right? So ATS, modules like performance management system, modules like asset module, we found it completely missing, right? So that was a challenge, and with that challenge, keeping those challenge into mind, we thought of bringing to you guys a holistic HRMS which covers all these aspects as well. So ATS in our HRMS is not going to be an add-on or a missing component. This is going to be front door for our HRMS product, right? Talking about ATS, as soon you any HR gets into ATS, right? He or she needs to first uh, configure various department any organization may have. When then in the department you will have various roles, right? So what we have done in our case is that you already would, as soon you have onboarded your organization, right, and you have defined your industry, you will have preloaded set of departments, and under those departments you will have roles already preloaded. However, organizations will have that flexibility that they can add new departments if their departments are not being addressed into that, and they can add their roles as well. Thereafter, once that has been done, then HR will take the baton and he or she will create jobs, right? Jobs can be created by HRs as well, and in large organization, it can be created by departmental heads. Thereafter, on various parameters, let's say budget and all those technical parameters, if some approval is required, right, some technical or budget related approval is required, that approval, it will go through the approval mechanisms. If approval is not given, then probably a rework would be required, and if approval has been given, then probably a recruiter will be assigned on that job, right? Because the job of the HR will be over from there. Her job or his job will be limited to overseeing the job that has been created, and from here onwards the job of recruiter will be starting, which who will be responsible for candidate sourcing strategies. Now, this candidate sourcing strategies, right, can go through linking it to a job, posting a job to multiple job portals, and their details that is already populating on your screen. I just have some limited time, probably 1 hour we have to complete this entire. So we'll not get into the details. Probably the online viewer can refer to this video later, right? And to offline audience, probably in the Q&A session, if you guys do have doubt, we can address that as well. Once candidate sourcing strategies has been decided, you will have a large plethora of candidate pool, right? Now, this candidate pool will be subjected to something called candidate recommendation engine, and recruiters will have a recruiter portal to see what all candidates that we do have against any given job. And thereafter, you will have on those recommendation engine, based on the predefined skill matrix, the candidates will be available. Thereafter, we do have, and from here onwards, our AI engine takes over. So a lot of AI features has been kept in the ATS portions, right? And from here, after that is either be it structuring a unstructured JD. In JD, you may have 20 line items. So skills has to be separated, or structuring or flowing, letting the candidate information, which may be in form of PDF or Word, right? Letting that come into system via something called resume parser. Nowadays, a lot of money is being spent by organization in this tool called resume parser. So here as well, we have simplified multiple things, but again, we'll not get into the details, right? Once you do have a resume which has been passed into the skill matrix, and once you do have JD which has been passed, right? Thereafter, recommendation engine will start recommending the candidates. Recruiters just have to take the call based on the skill score that which candidate we have to go ahead, right? When I'm saying go ahead, it is kind of scheduling the interviews, right? Some AI level screening, one, two layer system has already run. Recruiter's life has been simplified. Now we are getting into interview mode. There can be multiple interview mode as well. Here as well, some AI features that we do have. Until now, interviews were conducted in traditional mode where you will have set of panel of interviewers, right, in human form, and they will conduct the interviews, right? But we have developed agentic models for the interviews as well, where either in voice method or video method, agents can conduct the interview, right? Once now, interview can happen in multiple modes or multiple rounds. That as well our system does cover. Again, we'll not get into the details, right? So automatic interview scheduling, calendar sync, then slot seeking from the interviewers, all these things our system handles very beautifully. Once interview has been scheduled, be it one round or multiple round, thereafter feedback management can be done in the system itself. And once feedback has been managed, that is whether the candidate was selected, rejected, or put on hold, right? Thereafter, the system will hand over information to the next module, which is our pre-onboarding or onboarding module, which will be covered by the next speaker, who is Ajit Kumar. But until now, I think on a broader level, you guys will have a idea on that what are the things that we are going to cover. Now let us enter into the Salesforce to see all these things in the live. Right now on the screen, if you guys can see, we do have certain reports and dashboards, right? So as soon in the morning a HR opens his or her dashboards, he will be greeted with these kind of KPIs, which will help her in analyzing which stage a job is, how many candidate has been supplied, all the details which will help her in fulfilling her responsibilities and her decision making. Thereafter, you can see on this section, you do have activity, my activities, and my events, right? Which will again help her in decision making. Now, without wasting a lot of time on reports and dashboard, let us enter into something called departments, right? So here again, based on the industry selection that any company would have made, you can see some preloaded departments. Under departments, if we can get into one particular record, right, you will see the under department we do have various roles. Again, companies will have option to add the department and add the role. Then you do have job opening templates and the job requisition that has been created in the past uh, by the HRs, right? Now, if we can get into any of the job requisition which has already been created before coming into the demo, right? So here you can see the job requisitions, right? All the job requisitions that has been made by this company in the past, right? Again, if we can get into a particular job requisitions, all the feeds, all the details regarding the job requisitions, then you do have activity history, what has happened with respect to that job, all these things you can see. You can also see the stages of the jobs, right? Open, on hold, or whether partially filled or filled. Besides that, you do have certain other information like how many application has been. Again, we have not gone on to the recruiter level until now, right? It is just HR has created a job and see just overseeing it, right? We'll get into the recruiter level as well. You can see how many job application has been submitted, how many portals on which job has been posted, how many candidate which has already appeared for the interviews, and how many placement has already made at this job level. Besides this, there are certain buttons that you can see, that is post to portal, resume person, and send this job for approval, right? If you HR wants to post, and it is here that the candidate sourcing strategy comes into the picture. any recruitment happens to be a multi-channel function, right? So here our HRMS is integrated with multiple job portals, right? You just from our side, the integration is already completed. You just, as an organization, you just need to provide the API and this integration will be completed, which essentially means that this job can be posted on any or all of these portals, right? As of now, we are canceling this. Then we do have resume parser function. At this job, if HR does have 10 resume, 20 resume, it can be uploaded, right? And our resume parser function will let all those candidate information flow into the Salesforce, right? With this, if we can go into on the candidate option, right? You can see in our candidate database as of now, all these set of candidates are segregated by different information. If we can open any candidate record, you can see candidate 360 degree view of any candidate, that how the resume parser has been beautifully able to bring all the information that was until now in the form of PDF or Word, right? All the things, executive summary, then all the personal information, all the professional summary, whether the candidate skills, proficiency. If we can go on the top, you can see the educational details, employment histories, project experience, skill proficiency as well, and what tools, knowledge, and all these stuff that we do have. Besides this, if we can get into the right hand side section of the screen, you can see a history regarding the candidate, what all actions in the recruitment funnel, right, the candidate has been subjected to, right? Now you had the job, you have the candidate, right? Now the recruiter role comes into the picture. And to the recruiter, we have again given him or her a beautiful recruiter portal. If we can go to the recruiter portal, right, you will see certain custom functions and certain enablements that we have given to the recruiter, where he can see as soon recruiter logs in into the morning, he or she, besides the KPI, he or she will be greeted with these kind of I'll say filters, or this kind of portal where all the past job assignment that he had, he or she can see. If he has to start working on any of the job, he will simply select a particular job, and then you can see on the right hand side the job description that is populating, right? With the AI feature, again, analyze JD, that you can see this button, this unstructured JD can be classified into must have and should have skills. If I had time, probably I could have shown you guys that how these things happens. But again, for the paucity of time, we already had the test data ready, right? So that was again a AI function. And against this, you can see against the given job, the recommendation engine that I was talking about, recommendation engine has given us set of candidates. Can you see this? Although the skill score must have coverage, must have proficiency, then should have skills, all these things, the data are missing right now. However, again, another AI function that I would like to show, you can see that as soon the candidates were selected and as soon we clicked on something called analyze score, all the candidate, all the skill scores must have coverage and must have proficiency and all those stuff has already populated, right? Now here, the recruiter, based on the skill score, you do have skill sets as well. And this is directly, all these things are completely dynamic, right? This is directly coming from their resume in the real time. Now, recruiter, based on the skill scores, can take the decision that, hey, the skill score of this candidate is not so good, so probably I would not like to go ahead with this candidate. If he or she does have certain thresholds into the mind, right, he can take that. As of now, let's consider this candidate happens to be best, and if I want to create an application or let this candidate move forward further into the funnel, we can do that as well. Again, I'll get to the test record, test data. If we can scroll up, you can see certain candidate which has already been moved into the interview funnel, right, recruitment funnel, and those people are in various stages. This candidate has applied. With this candidate, we already have shared the interview slot. With this candidate, we already have shared interview schedule. So various stages through which a candidate might go before the selection, all those stages, and how many days it has been in funnel, how many days in a particular status, all these data, right? Then there are certain enablement buttons that you can see, schedule interview and create placement. So right now our system is integrated with most of the meeting management tool, that is be it Zoom, be it Gmeet, or be it your Teams, right? Whether it is an offline interview, whether it is an online interview, all these things, whatever levels of interview, be it HR, be it technical, at whatever level, right? So all the levels of the interview, all the stages, idea that I want to present to you guys is that this ATS is completely configurable. Right now, it is addressing just maybe one or two rounds of interview. But if your organization does require multiple levels of interview, that as well, this ATS is capable to portal. Now, without wasting a lot of time, let's say interview has been completed, feedback has to be managed, right? So we trigger to the interview, we can trigger emails, we can trigger WhatsApp messages, and through that, the interviewer can give his or her feedback through their email or through their WhatsApp as well, right? Now, let us consider that the feedback has been gathered. Then the candidate might be marked as placed. A candidate might be selected, and placement record can be created. And from here, I think the next team will take over. That is Ajit, who is going to give you a walkthrough of pre-onboarding that a candidate has been selected, right? Now, he is supposed to be pre-onboarded. He is supposed to be sent certain kind of links, right? So that he can provide the document and all those stuff. So I hand over this pattern to Ajit, who will take us through the next module, that is pre-onboarding, onboarding, confirmation, and asset module. Thank you. Thank you very much.